happened in the mid lane. She was just farming, health and dealing damage to two heroes at the same time. Imagine what could have changed if you went for anti-heal. And I hope I can just throw this out there, for people who think you need to go damage first or any other items. When you see heroes that have, strong life steal right from the start, there is no crime in going anti-heal first item. This is a team game. You are going to team fight at some point. And if you are the fastest farm, you might want to go for that anti-heal. Your tank is only getting gold from thriving, which is a little bit minuscule. So if you are forced, if your farm is fast, you can just go for the anti-heal and save your team the stress of having to fight a hero that will just continue healing. I apologize for saying countless times. I'm just
yeah.
mad.
While still saying more,
I'm mad at yeah, I'm mad at the build. Seriously.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
We are not the one playing, so let's see where that takes them.
Yeah, definitely. And then people at the back, yeah, welcome back to the stream, guys. I can see Isaac and Phantom here. Welcome back to the stream. Apologies for the technical difficulties we experienced earlier, but we should be back now. And that's the pause. Yeah, our pause right now. It seems like Oni Esports demanded their pause, and that's one pause used by both teams. So they only have one left, and that's it. There's little more what Noxy can do as a ref. But we will resume back into the game now. Yorichi, okay, down bottom, just might walk into this one retro, but that's the taunt there. Taunting him back, bringing him back closer. But there's a gang cooking up. It's a 3-on-1. Tony has to get back down. Meanwhile, I look out on this Lito, takes the Lito. Malcolm, a bit late there. That's the flowing blood to get back, but not able to use it. Meanwhile, on the EX lane, no up top, back up top. Malcolm taking out that red Lito. And Retro trying to give vision here, but you have to be careful. The Mino is squishy. The tier 1 on the mid lane is down and suffering. Just camping around the bushes here. And Legacy, meanwhile, up top on the gold lane, the Twins raw to check for the bushes. Malcolm just coming, waiting for the right moment. No signal, no sign here. And that's the blood off. Flowing blood comes out, gets back out. They're not really ready to engage here. For 15 seconds on this total. They might be a bit impatient, but Yorichi knows how to coordinate his team and how not to make any unnecessary moves just before an objective is spawned. Down bottom, Prime B walking onto the mid lane here just to clear the waves. The turtle has spawned, and that's where you want to be. Meanwhile, I don't know why Dialuk card is down bottom, even though he's the jungler. But that's the flowing blood. Malcolm coming onto the turtle here. SOE, but we'll miss Dialuk card. And that's more where that came from. Bloodhood. And that's Retro. Prime B, the midst of it all, but able to get away. Malcolm takes the turtle, an easy one at that. But that was a turtle for it. That one on the X lane. That's 3-on-1. Heavy spin defensively to get out Prime B. That was a very brilliant move. It wasn't worth it. They had already taken it. I mean, a turret for a turtle. Was that a worthy sacrifice, or was that a worthy trade?
No, it's not, especially when you are behind like that. But I'm not against that strat. The only thing I'm against is who they sent down there to take that turret down. If your jungler had been there, there's a chance, although Malcolm is already a level ahead. I think that was what they considered, and that was why they sent Alucard down there instead. You can see the others were just up there trying to disrupt it and see if they can delay the turtle a little bit and see if they can, kill two birds with one stone. But I guess that didn't work out, so they lost
that
the
didn't
turtle.
work out there. Purifier already popped there, and that's Ikaru. Really trying to miss of it all. That's the Despair Storm, but not willing to follow it up with the Minoa Rage. Retro will save that resource for bigger team fight. And the flowing blood comes in with the blood of farming the creep in the opponent's jungle. Malcolm getting a bit confident here. Their flowing blood comes in as well for the orange buff. Retro gets him drawn in, but Retro doesn't want to commit just yet. The Space Storm, but not willing to use it. The man is holding back. The Space Storm defensively into the turret, just waiting it out at this point. And that's Sovereign there, just making sure he doesn't make any unnecessary moves. And Prime B walking on down bottom. Okay, but there's the flowing blood from Malcolm. both teams are just wave clearing right now. Meanwhile, Legacy up top just might be able to take us the tier 1 on the goal plane with ease because there's little or no contest here from Ikaru.
Yeah, definitely. While the Alice was taking Alucard's red buff, I noticed that there were some people up there, trying to delay, the Lord.
Yeah, they're taking out the Lord. The Lord is being taken. But Retro here, just waiting for the right moment, perhaps. Legacy, but there's the hard guard. Not willing to use it yet. Malcolm is waiting for the right moment. But they're taking out the Lord here, not willing to engage. Oni Esports have a different ideology of a Lord dance. Meanwhile, down bottom there, the SOD comes in, but misses. They haven't gotten the right SOD. They're struggling their Legacy, and that's Retro X, not willing to engage their Prime B up top. They take out the 2 there on the X plane, a Lord for another turret missile. But then, okay, Ikaru, there's the Purify. Legacy, Abyss Walker, but not able to get away. The next person will get him. And that's the range passive from the Minotaur. Enough to take him out. Retro gets the kill. A tank against the Marksman. You'd never see that one coming. But the Lord will approach the mid lane. And that is met with Ikaru being the one to defend. There's the Queen's Roar starting it out. But there's, okay, they're going in. But okay, defensively, trying to escape here. The Lord trying to put trust in. But that's mid lane. And Oni Esports will successfully defend against this Lord.
Yeah, it was looking like they have given up on this game entirely earlier, but now I don't know. Maybe their leader just said the activation word, and it feels like all of them are online right now. And I noticed that they have 3 anti-heals now, so they might be winning more fights. Just my observation.
Yeah, they might be winning more fights, so hopefully Flowing Blood defensively from Malcolm to get away. And I don't understand what Tony is doing, though. His positioning is a bit suspicious here, and I don't really understand it. But then hopefully it gets to make sense towards the end. But Pog clearing the lanes here. That's what an ESP should. You should take care of your own lane. But then up top, I don't understand what Yorichi and Legacy is up to. But Yorichi trying to front line here. They're going for the tier 2 on the gold lane. But with that help, it's Avengers Flame for the pushback from the Sovereign and Ikaru. They will clear the lanes here. And Malcolm down bottom trying to engage this Alucard here. Blood, oh, we missed. And the Blood, oh, the artificial wave goes in with the Grand Twister. No, he does not. He will just say, game over! Dragon Giant! And that's it. The Avengers comes down. The Richie Ford! Heavy spin! From 5B, but it's still misery. We'll push him back. Legacy gets out, and that's the Flowing Blood. Comes out, Malcolm escapes. 3 man down for Oni Esports. They can't afford to engage down. Flowing Blood comes to the game. Malcolm penalties on the 2. Crimson Era. They wipe out Oni Esports. And Legacy will get the last hit of Prime B. Oh my goodness, what did I just watch?
What? I don't even know. How do we break that down? How do we explain it? From the start, it was Oni's.
So are you here with me? Okay, I think Desire is gone. Yeah, the Lord is trying to get taken here. That's Legacy, frontlining it. But already low on mana here. Malcolm has to recall. He has to be very careful there. But then they will start it out there. Nothing too serious, but Legacy and Prime B here. Only Esports, no contest whatsoever against this Lord. I really have my questions, but I'm gonna save them for when Fisayo gets back. And that's Pog starting it out. But Fisayo, are you back? Okay, seems like he's not back yet. But that's Pog there. And Prime B trying to defend against this waves here. Can he defend? That's the thing. Can he defend? Because this is the second Lord now, and only Esport, they just have to make it work. They just have to hustle what's left. Flowing Blood comes in, but not able to follow through. That's the heavy spin to push the minion waves, and every member of only Esport, of Crimson Era out. Flowing Blood, Malcolm comes in, the Blood off. does not connect onto anyone. And that's Legacy. They're trying to push down this inhibitor down bottom, but Prime B is not letting them do that. And the heavy spin has been used already, a valuable resource. Now the Lord approaches from the top lane. That's Malcolm. The tier 1 goes down. They look at engage this, and the SOT misses. The flowing blood. Malcolm goes to the hands are surrounding him. Penalties over the flicker, and one never falls. Oni Esports, right on drive, connects onto 2 red snowballs as well. Prime goes down with them 2-man left. And Ikaru tries to defend what's set to clear the minion waves. A brilliant move, a strategy from Oni Esports. And that's suffering and Ikaru. 1 minion is flowing in, and the pushback from the ballet. Malcolm in the midst of it all. The win of nature for the outplay. But it's time for Legacy to take the base as Crimson Era take game 1. My goodness. That was a very interesting one there. Fisayo, are you back? Because you really need to be back when you are missing out. Okay, seems like he's not back yet, so definitely we're gonna have to work about that one. But if you guys have any comments, can you just confirm that you can hear me so that I wonder it's not my network or something that is going on. But yeah, that was a very interesting play. We can see the stats here. You know, we can see that Malcolm was actually the MVP. You know that that's a result of good drafting, and then you can also see that Ikaru was the MVP. Yeah, the Irita really did her job. I can't actually deny that one. Ikaru did so well in that game. But then for a Nigerian number 27 Alucard, I kind of expected more. But then hopefully in the next game we're gonna see something better there. But that will conclude the game 1, guys. For the game 4, and Crimson Era will take the game 1. A very interesting play. But you guys now, over to you. What do you think about game 1? Do you think there was a chance that Oni Esports could have taken the game 1? Or do you think Crimson Era just had it out for them for that one? Okay, I'll be engaging the comments now. All right, so someone says...
About the...
Okay, I think Fisayo is back. Yeah, Fisayo, man, you missed out a lot, man.
I didn't want to cut you off, so...
All right, man. Okay, so yeah, Oni Esports, they lost the game, and Crimson Era took it, man. What do you think?
Like you said earlier, it was just the result of a better draft. They had the better draft. They have the better draft. When the stream cut off earlier, we were just talking about the draft, and I remember we said something about no damage. Like they don't have that much damage except the ones coming from the Erythel and the Valer. And the Erythel is a late game hero, while the Valer, who is supposed to be consistent, he was lacking. So I don't know. Let's just say Crimson Era was the better team here. They played that draft so well. It felt like something that they've practiced for a long time. And quite often the Angela doesn't join team fight that much. When the team fight starts, she's always very far away. I think that's just one of the strats so that she doesn't get picked off very early. She's very important to their lineup, so they have to keep her safe. That was why you saw her hiding in the bush, bot lane. The other time I remember you made a comment on that. So I feel that was just the game plan, not anything too extravagant.
Yeah. Also, we have to mention something here. The Alucard was number 27 in Nigeria. So you cannot expect something better, right? Because for you to get to a national title, if I remember correctly, you need to have at least 2,100 euro power for you to even get listed on the leaderboard. So that you definitely need to have some level of repetition on that hero. Even if you were just spamming the hero, you should have some level of experience. But then, it wasn't exactly the best performance. And there's interesting trades that Oni Esports were making. A Lord for a turret, a Turtle for a turret. I mean, was that a fair trade, man? Were those trades valid in the long run?
Well, they are not. They are not. In this game of MLBB, actually, you can seed the first turtle. That means you can give the enemy the first turtle. But starting from the second turtle and third turtle, you have to fight for it. You have to. But surprising that first turtle that they only fought for, while the second and third you just gave it for free. Even the first Lord, they were somewhere else when the enemy was taking that Lord. And about the Alucard, just was this Undying hero's name? Argos.
Okay.
Argos this time.
Yeah.
I look at just like Argos, they don't do well when the enemy team are coordinated in a 5v5 situation. You get, you are attacking one person, you are being CC'd by another, you are getting, comboed by the mage and the MM at the same time. You won't last long. The only thing that can sustain you as an Alucard is if you are able to get like 4 to 5 man fusion wave, that is ult, to increase your lifesteal and hybrid defense. But in this case, it jumps on one person, and the next thing, the other teammates just appear from the bush from out of nowhere. Your fusion wave is only hitting one person, so of course you can't tank that much damage. So that Alucard was very bad in that kind of composition. I feel like they should have, if you wanted to go for a fighter, go for a stronger fighter. If you wanted to go for an assassin, just go for an assassin. And although an assassin wouldn't work in that kind of draft actually, because they were too tanky, like we said before the game even started.
Yeah, definitely. And a backstab ban was actually very valid from Crimson Era, because when you have a Angela Heartguard and you have the Blood Ode on the Alice, that's a lot of healing. So the backstab would have been a very problematic one. So a takedown there was a very valid move from Crimson Era under the leadership of Yorichi. So yeah, Yorichi being the S1 now, the first player, and then you can see Legacy as well with the Moskov. Actually did well in the last game, but then this is a new one, and the first drafts they've taken down Ikaru's Irithel, and that is Oni Esports doing that. That was the only person that had the MVP in the last game. Ikaru had the MVP with the Irithel, and now that Irithel is Oni Esports first ban. Is this a gun to the leg?
From falling apart.
Yeah, I don't know, this trend of if I can't use this hero, then you can't as well. How sure are you that the enemy team can play that hero? In fact, DT did this, Fake Frost did it yesterday as well, I believe, if I remember correctly, and Oni2 is doing it today. So
yeah,
maybe Legacy could play the Irithel, we don't know. But seeing as they banned the Phobios, first, I'm guessing they are going for Moskov again. So they should have thought of that in their game plan before banning the Irithel. I'm sure I'm sure the Crimson Era got the first ban before them.
Yeah, I'm sure as well. Because if you think about it, Fisayo, if you really think about it, they actually did not go for that Irithel. They went for the Belric of Yorichi. So if you think about it in the long run, with retrospect, you'd realize that if they had not taken that Irithel, they still would have had a chance to pick it, and that would have given them a better winning chance, because it's clear that Ikaru is actually more skilled with the Irithel because of his performance in the last game.
There is light. There are also shadows.
Still, we can't jump to conclusion. He might be better at other heroes than the Irithel. Maybe he is bad, at fighting against the Irithel. So that is one of the reasons why you ban heroes. Actually, don't just ban heroes because they are meta. Don't ban heroes because the heroes are special or whatever. Try to think, what kind of heroes do you think will be bad or will be good for your team? What type of heroes do you hate going up against in your lane?
Yeah, you have to think about this one. But then Sovereign leaving the Valer behind and going for Liu Yi. We're definitely going to be expecting some divergence here, some placements and some disappearances. From Oni Esports, but then it all depends on how they use it. Tony's still sticking to that Angela pick there. Malcolm on the Alice. Baxter isn't banned, so Baxter is available. I'm pretty sure that Crimson Era will take down the Baxter because they have to, if they don't want to get gunned in the leg in this situation.
Yeah, they should. But the Moskov is gone. I like this ban. I like it. I like the Moskov ban. This holds true to what I was saying earlier. If you are having a particular problem, if you're having a problem with a particular hero, just ban it. Don't think too much. If the hero is bad for your team, just ban it. You don't have to stress yourself and think, oh, my teammates will cover for me. What if they don't?
Yeah, that's the thing. What if they don't? But then I feel like Crimson Era just threw away their last golden ticket to ban the Baxia, because now, Only Esports can pick the Baxia, and that can be very problematic for them. But then let's see how it goes. They still have the roam lane. They haven't picked for the roam. So backseat, we can do backseat roam. And then we can also do something else. But Oni Esports, yeah, that's it. I did predict that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So for their Roma now, I believe they should just go for a healer, maybe a Kalea, a healer. Just they already have two tanks, the Loye and the carry. They can deal enough damage, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, they can. And that will actually be very good because, Legacy leaving the monster behind and going for the Beatrix. Wow, this is definitely going to be an interesting one because, the Caleb versus this is actually two marksmen that actually have the shortest range in the game, Beatrix and Carry. So definitely we're going to be seeing some very interesting plays there. But then Pog will go for the Lapu, so that's mobility. That's something Icarus has to be wary of because the Carry's mobility skill doesn't exactly have that much range. She's going to be relying on the flicker here, and that's Retro with the Estes. Wow, that is not a good pick because the Lapu will definitely backdive him.
Yeah, the Lapo will backdive the Estes, but he has enough bodyguards. I'm more worried about the Luoyi though. Luoyi is not well known for her mobility, and if you keep missing your S1s, we had what do we call it yesterday? Yin Yang, Abi? It was something yin yang.
Or something,
If you
dispassion.
keep missing your S1, yeah. If you keep missing your S1, instead of being an asset to your team, you're going to be a liability instead. But the displacement is actually worth it if you're able to land those yin yang dispassions.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious to see how Retro X is going to escape this Lapo because Pog only has one job in this game, and that is to take out the Lapo. Because if you're a Lapo, you want to go to the back line. That is like, that's like a given. He has no business against Baxia. He needs to be at the back line. And if you are Retro X, okay, I see that there are two Retro X here. So I think I'm going to call them the hero names instead because to avoid confusion, I'm going to call them the hero names. I'm going to call them, Baxia and Estes because I heard if I keep saying Retro X, you're wondering which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, one has the all right reserved sign and one has the smiling sign. So you can say smiling retro and you can say all right reserved. No, that one is too mouthy though.
That's a lot, man. But yeah, up top, you can see Retro already starting it. That's three on the purple buff. That's assisting him there. Dispersion as well as Retro still healing it up. And that's it. Starting to take it out. That's the purple buff down already. But this might be a combo.
Nelson, can I just cut you off here? This is an Angela mid.
Wow, really? That's what they're running?
Yeah. I didn't even notice that until I saw it now.
Wow, that's true. They're running an Angela mid. Wow, definitely going to be losing out on the magic damage there, but more healing. And that's the little there. They haven't started contesting in the flowing blood to get there quickly. Malcolm. That was actually an IQ play on the jungle there. That's on the mid lane. The waves are cleared. That's Yorichi rotating on the mid lane. You just have to make it sure. Then Tony starting to get a bit aggressive here, but that's just a poke. And Prime B isn't interested in engaging him just yet. And really, both teams are just farming it out right now.
Yeah, there's nothing much going on. And this Lapu, although you said something earlier and I wanted to comment on it. You said the Lapu only has one job, which is to go for the backline, the Estes. But he also has to think about the carry in the backline. He jumps to the backline and true damage is going to be waiting for him there. But this is still the Lapu we are talking about, one of the most tanky fighters, one of the nearly unkillable heroes in the game, so he might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, definitely with the with the recent adjustment on him, you can see down bottom Prime B cutting the lanes, not even careless, not even careful there, but that's the go away and the don't run Wolf King, brother. But that's Landshaker. Wow! Dodges the Landshaker there. And that's two-man. And going in despite of the Yin Yang reaction. Suffering finds Fog. And Fog goes down. Prime B falls with him though. And that's Malcolm with the blood though. And the blood outflowing blood, but not available yet. Tony and Malcolm would have to settle for the total and uncontested one attack.
Yeah, that team fight was just amazing. The Angela is paying dividends right now. I don't even know how are they going to counter this?
Yeah, you have to ask yourself that question there. But then Prime B might just be the hope here against Malcolm and Tony combo. Meanwhile, up top, I don't know what Retro Yorichi is up to, but he's just waiting it out at this point. And Icarus has to be very careful because you can't afford to overextend at this point. Just sticking to just single light wheels at this point. Okay, he has the speedy light wheels, but not willing to use it. Just waiting it out. You have to check for the bushes though. Retro, that's the thing about using an Estes as a roamer. You can't exactly check. But I like the fact that he's using the domain of the moon goddess to check for the bushes. That's a very good way to use your skills because Estes is very vulnerable. If you go in to check the bushes, you are as good as dead meat.
You're as good as dead, obviously. The only healer that can go in to check bushes by himself is probably the Minotaur. But we don't talk about the Minotaur. We don't know if that guy is a tank or a healer, in fact.
Exactly. More domain of the moon goddess here from Retro. And that's Sovereign here. Really just making sure that he does not overextend Yorichi as well. Just giving vision where necessary. That's a two-man. Yes, Shield Unity comes out from Retro. Is going down bottom. No, he isn't. And that's an okay, an engagement there, Malcolm. But that reaction gets done. The hard guard not yet used. And the flowing blood comes out, but not willing to use it. And Prime B down bottom is getting supported. Okay, naturally not getting supported. Pog is the one getting supported. And Prime B, be good from Prime B. Nothing too serious though. He will start out the EXP crab.
Yeah, this Belleric is feeling real confident right now. Just moving around the map, giving vision, not giving a care in the world.
Ooh, a three-man don't run Wolf King from Prime B. A very brilliant move. But unfortunately, that does not start any team fight as there was little or no follow-up from that one. But it's also has spawned though. And Prime B, you're going to be needed. But then that's Pog. Be good comes out. Prime B not willing to take out Tony. And that's an engagement there. Shield Unity comes out. And that's Malcolm in the midst of it all. Tony has got us on saving legacy falls. And Malcolm, the only one left. Tony's down. Yorichi falls. Retro falls. Sovereign falls. Slam Shaker with a flicker. And that's Paul going down to Ikaru. He's still in the business of taking people out. It's a 4-for-2 trade in favor of Oni Esports.
Yeah, definitely. You saw what happened there. Even though the carry was already low on health, she was still able to take down the Lapu. That was what I was saying earlier, that it is not a sure kill for the Lapu every time he goes in. He has to be careful about a lot of things. And this Ruby is definitely throwing a wrench in the engages. Tanks, you are slow on movement and like disengages. That's one of the disadvantages of this comp. They are slow on their feet, they're not that fast. So if they get CC'd, they might actually their health must actually be taken low before they are able to move away to safety.
Yeah, you have to consider that too as well. But then Oni Esports, they are really picking off where they left off. And I like that Malcolm is already low on mana, so he has to be very careful how he uses the Blood Ode. He has to be very careful there. But down bottom, Prime B just waiting it out at this point. Be good, just poking it out. That's the thing about the Ruby. You can poke as much as you want to and not worry about HP because you can easily just regen with the next minion wave. Okay, be good. Yeah. Okay, don't run Wolf King. And the Homeland Defender from Pog to gain the shield there. But that's an engagement. Reverse Fighter comes in. He signals. Landshaker connects though with the Homeland Defender. Raging Slash. But Pog misses the final slash. And Prime B walks into the safety of the turret. Landshaker will miss. But no, Homeland Defender onto the EXP Crab. Takes it though. And that's this passion up top. Sovereign comes in to support Prime B. And Pog, we're just waiting it out at this point. Yorichi doesn't give the signal just yet. It's a 3-on-3 here. And Malcolm is rotating back up top. Not interested. The domain of the moon goddess is available for the Estes. He knows that is not going to be a good engagement, but the turtle will spawn. And that calls the name of Retro and Malcolm.
Yeah, that engage against the Ruby. I don't know if the Lapu wasn't looking at the map. It was only the Belleric that was there. I don't think both of them could have taken out the Ruby, even if they tried.
Yeah, Yeah, would have taken out the Ruby. But Malcolm walks into this one, but Sovereign and the domain of the Moon Goddess to slow him down. That's a 90% slow. But that's just his blaze. His passion comes in. Sovereign he goes to the back line. And Wrath of Drive comes out to reach to win his job. But he will fall Sacrificial Lamb. And Brian B falls as well. But you Malcolm is the one to Retro. Ikaru takes down Pog. Ikaru with his spinning light wheels, but no legacy falls to Retro. Ikaru finally goes down. Tony takes him down. But that's it 3-on-3. Retro, they're a bit too low. Both teams have to disengage with an equal trade in that team fight.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start from. The Loyi going alone into the back, that wasn't such a good idea. What if he had been found out right before the engage? She just got lucky there. I hope going forward to learn to bring maybe someone else along, maybe the Ruby or the bless you, or the Baxter along when going to the back line like that. That was real dangerous. She just got lucky that they were able to win that team fight or draw that team fight.
Yeah, definitely got lucky there. You can see a spam recall here. That's spamming. Oni Esports is spamming recalls, but there's no pause. There's no pause from the ref. I mean, Noxy, are you seeing this? If you are seeing this, you really should give them that pause right now. And right now, there's no pause. They're demanding for it, but the ref isn't awarding it to them. And you're reaching up top, still giving vision there. That's the poke. And the concussive blast. Meanwhile, down bottom, Prime B, bugging it out with Pog. And that's Raging Slash, still missing that last flash. Seems like he's struggling with control here, Fisayo.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that I haven't perfected on the Lapo is that last slash. It always goes wide, always. So I feel like that's one of the signs that you're a good Lapo player if you can land all 3 slashes.
Yeah, definitely. But then they're still spamming the recalls. You can see Suffering in the mid lane. That's Retro. That is the 3 spam recall. And yes, it has been awarded to them. Finally, it will be awarded. Oni Esports have been asking for that for a while now. So that's while the game is paused. And then we can just engage the comments here. Someone says, Oni don't wake up. What do you think about that, Fisayo?
Yeah, they are awake, but I won't say they are all awake because right now, Prime B and Icarus are the one carrying the match right now. The Loyi has landed some nice yin-yang dispersions, and the Baxter too has been trying. The Estes, I think he has 8 assists. Oh, that's like 100% team fight. Wow, I take back what I said. Tony has woken up.
Yeah, Tony has woken up indeed. And that's Carl in the comments there. What's up, dude? How's it going? But you can see another comment here. Someone says, real retro and fraud retro.
Oh, a reference to the confusion at the start of the game. So real retro and fraud retro. So which one will be the real and which one will be the fraud then?
Yeah, that's a question that Seki can answer, but unfortunately, I don't think he's here anymore. But that's Tori. He says, "Oh, that's Carl." He says, "Jared is," and I can see Jared here as well. So, in case you guys don't know, Jared and Carl are actually real-time production members. So yeah, what's up, guys? Shout out to Real Time, by the way. And that's Isaac. Isaac says Oni should win game 2. Yeah, you think about it, Fisayo. If Oni win game 2, we get to see a game 3. So yeah, that's a good thing for them because they have a chance to actually take the entire game. Because if Crimson Era win this game 2, it means Crimson Era, takes the victory and we all get to go to bed.
Yeah, we all get to go to bed early, in fact. But it is looking good for Oni, but we can't rule out Crimson Era just yet. The Angela Alice combo, what are they going to do about that? I feel like they need to look for something. They need to find something to counter that immediately. Else, they are going to suffer it in a bit.
Yeah, somebody says, not on the list. It says, Crimson Era is wicked. Hopefully, L will put its frauds in its place. But we have to stop disengaging. That's the on pause from the ref, Noxy. And you're reaching here, just waiting for the right position, in the right position to give as much patience. But the Lord, sorry, excuse me. The Lord has been started. Okay, that's spamming the recalls. That's spamming the recalls.
Fog is gone.
Yeah, Crimson Era. Yeah, that's probably recalls, man. I mean, they want the pause. Noxy should award the pause to them. And it seems like Prime B just wasted his flicker because that's, and I'm offended for only pulling one. He will go back, and there's no awarding of the pause from the ref. It seems like the game is ongoing. Yorichi is taking damage from the Lord. Yorichi is already half HP here, and that's the domain of the Moon Goddess taking more. This passion comes in, Yin-Yang reaction. The hard card is forced to use Yorichi with the Wrath of Dryad, a last stand approach, and the offended from Prime B comes in, but that's more Yin-Yang reaction. The Land Shaker, they will retreat the Pog to safety as they give Oni Esports an uncontested nod. But Malcolm, just might be a little contest here. The hard guard is no longer available, and Oni Esports are forced to clear Legacy, pushing the mid lane here. The both teams will disengage.
Yeah, the jungler is dead, so they can't engage just anyhow.
Yeah,
And I hope this will be a lesson to all our epic and epical glory players. When a jungler is dead, please just retreat. You don't have to force the Lord. If the enemy jungler is alive and a jungler is dead, it is just a waste of time, effort, and resources.
Yeah, definitely. You have to keep that in mind, guys. But then you can see that Yorichi in the just waiting. That's the thing. See, Yorichi's position is something we have to talk about here. Prime B as well. When you're on the Ruby, at some point you can afford to do these kind of things because Prime B knows that he has a lot of sustain right now. But the Lord has been started already, and Digo don't run Wolf King from Prime B to close the distance here. Malcolm is low on mana, but that's the Wrath of Dryad onto 4 retro balls. But no, Malcolm takes the Lord, and that's Prime B going down with them. Only Esports, they are forced to retreat, but we will really let them. The Spicer comes in, Bog engages with the raging slash, but still missing the last slash, and that will cost him his life. Bog will go down suffering as Retro goes down with them. But Ikaru has to go back, trying to recall back, flowing blood, but Malcolm not willing to throw that one through. They have to go in with this Lord for a siege, for a potential to end the game before their numbers return.
Yeah, definitely. That team fight was so well fought, the Angela right now. So I think we just rule out the Alice Angela combo. The real problem now is the Angela. She is playing so well, healing up. And let's not forget the Beatrix. The Beatrix is with the Bennett's Rage is dealing so much damage to the front line of Oni that they are getting deleted immediately the team fight starts, which leaves Oni backlines vulnerable. As you can see, the Lapu just dived in freely just like that, nobody to block him and punish him for going so far. Although he died in the end, he could have survived if he moved fast enough.
Yeah, perhaps, but then that's an engagement there. Yorichi, in the midst of it all, trying to use the Wrath of Dryad there, but the Be Good from Prime B and Don't Run Wolf King is making it difficult for him. Yorichi almost half HP here, and the Golden Helmet, little HP gradually there. Does he have the Golden Helmet? Let me check that. I think he does. No, he does not. Only the Blade Armor. But then they will disengage though. Prime B being the one to give vision now. You see, that's what happens when you have Ruby on the team. In the late games, Ruby can be very problematic, especially since she has a lot of spell bump and CC she can afford to escape. But that's Prime B doing what he can. But then Yorichi, a bit of an extension here. Yorichi gets moved back. Maybe I'm offended. But that's Wrath of Dryad coming in. Yorichi falls though. And that's Prime B getting away. But will he escape? Bomb falls with him. The blessing of the Moon Goddess is healing and restoring them back to life as Estes comes through for them in that one.
Yeah, up Estes. Estes won that team fight for them. Bro is on 0-3-12 right now. MVP performance on this Estes. You said the Estes might not be a very good pick, but looks like Retro is proving you wrong right now, Black. What do you have to say for yourself? Defend yourself in the court.
Okay. So I have to say Retro. Yeah, I take back my words. The Estes is actually a good pick, but then you can see Ikaru down bottom there with the spinning light wheels and the speedy light wheels has to get back, but that dispassion and diversion 3 to go back up top. And that's a utility for the low Yi here. Diversion coming through, but I don't know if that was worth it. They need to support Prime B and that's Retro down bottom there, hiding in the waves. But that's Don Yorichi taking damage from the Lord here, and that's the pullback. The Domain of the Moon Goddess, pretty slow. Flowing Blood comes out. But how much more can they? And that's Spock, Jungle Warrior, backward. There's a double stun. Something you got the side of two. But then Strange comes in and ball falls. First one to go that Retro falls. Yorichi goes out with the blessing of the Moon Goddess. Hikaru with the Speedy Light Wheels. Finally goes there, but no legacy. Forced to retreat. It's a 2-for-4 trade. 2-for-3 trade in favor of Oni Esports as Hikaru takes the Lord.
Yeah, everything was so chaotic there, but that is the kind of fight that only are going to win. They are pure chaos. I mean, you have the backshot right there in the middle soaking up damage. You have Prime B just using all his skills to displace them. You have the Loye as well, just pushing everybody back and forth. They won't even know. They won't even know what hits them. Then we have the true damage monster carry at the back, just shredding them down. I saw the Bellery trying to run away. One of the annoying things about the Spirit Light Wheels is you think you've escaped, or if you've gone far enough from a projectile, it becomes invisible. A team fight.
Yeah, definitely brewing up here, like you said, Sayo. But then Prime B down bottom there, Flowing Blood comes in from Malcolm. Not willing to use it. The shield unity though, that's the siege coming in from the Lord down bottom, up top rather. And that's Malcolm. They're trying to melt down this Lord, but Oni Esports know that they can't afford any mistakes right now. They will take out the tattoo on the mid lane. But then Yorichi, just waiting it out, just being patient. That's one thing about Yoroma. Already getting the Twilight armor for those boss damage from Ikaru, and the blade armor as well for those crit numbers from Ikaru. It seems like they're starting to counter him, man.
Yeah, but Twilight armor against the Loye, I believe the Loye deals boss damage. So why is it? Oh, the Twilight armor, the one for high.
Yeah. Oh, Yorichi is down. That was a nice pullback from Prime B. A very brilliant engagement. My goodness, Yorichi disappeared. What was that? Hikaru, that damage from the Speedy Light Wheels was insane. What is this man? There's a pullback. One more time. With the shield unity, Malcolm is gone. And they're picking up Crimson Era one by one. Only Esports are starting to thread the needle in this game, and Sovereign is the one front lining there. And the Domain of the Moon Goddess, that's slow. 80% is not your mate, Fisayo.
Yeah, maybe the carry was the answer to the Alice Angela combo. Not only that, we've seen that they were able to punish you in the early. We saw Yorichi just flexing on everyone, going around the bush, but even he will be scared to go to the bush now as a tank.
Yeah, you'll be scared. I mean, you have to be very, very careful at this point, because that Domain of the Moon Goddess, that slow is insane, especially at the edges there. And then Hikaru, that is enough time for him. Meanwhile, down bottom, Prime B, the midst of two here. Like it's the tactical repositioning to get out on the Bennett. But Fog, Yorichi gets caught in the Domain of the Moon Goddess again. Yorichi has to be careful. Fog gets the blade armor. He needs those for those quick numbers. Meanwhile, Yorichi already has pretty light skills here. Gotta get more, trying to melt down this sword as fast as possible, but that's the resource already used. And that's Malcolm coming up top. Domain of the Moon Goddess, the half guard will not come in enough time. Prime B, I'm offended. They're not done. So the fighter comes in, Hikaru flickers out of the raging slash. That's Prime B land taker with a flicker. Bog already used in the red strip, but the rest of the land comes in as well. And that's four, where that came from. The Domain of the Blessed of the Moon Goddess comes in to save. Estes in the back, but Prime B takes out Yorichi. Only Esports have to go back now. One man is down, and that is Sovereign. There's no longer AOE CC magic damage for them, and they've taken the load already. So right now they need to count their losses and back off.
Yeah, the Crimson Era really forced that team fight, though. I didn't think Oni was ready for that. He just had to re-engage, and that is one of the things that you don't need to do in Mobile Legends Bang Bang. I've been saying this repeatedly. You don't have to play into the enemy's hands, although they were forced into it, so it's understandable. So, like you said, they should count their losses and reposition and try something else.
Yeah, they should try something else. But that's the Lord melted down again by Crimson Era. They are not willing to settle for a loss. And that's Oni Esports. They have to go for another Lord, but that's 70 seconds on the belt. And that's the domain of the Moon Goddess. That's slow, man. That's slow. Jesus, what is this? And does Retro have Ice Cream 1? No, he does not. I mean, I can't imagine what will happen if he does. But then that's Malcolm there. He doesn't want to engage Prime B giving vision. That's the thing about the Ruby. You don't want to engage a Ruby. When she's poking you, she could pull you in. It might be a bait. You don't know which is which. When you are, and Prime B is taking advantage of that mystery right now. Okay, seems
right
like
from the start, right from the start of the game. Yeah, my apologies. I'm trying to get something. So right from the start of the game, the Ruby has shown, expertise. She and the Estes are actually playing real well now. I don't have any complaint about their plays actually.
Okay, yeah, they play well indeed. But then down bottom there, you can see Pog, the Lapu there. He really has to make sure that he dives back because Retro is the bane right now. And that's more spamming recall. Okay, Yorichi spamming the recalls here. This might be a signal there. Prime B has to get back up top, trying to buy time for Hikaru here. Already using the speedy light spills to melt down the Lord, but Yorichi trying to walk into this thing. They're not wanting to make the same mistake. Domain of the Moon Goddess comes in, but that's a pull back there. Malcolm is getting delayed. Meanwhile, they're losing more members there. Gets away, flickers out. Legacy takes that retro, and one man down. That jungler is down. How will Oni Esports secure it? Ball goes down. Ikaru takes him out, and that's more where that came from. Ikaru goes down. Tony shuts him down. Finally, Crimson Era. They will take down the Lord. He wants to get away, but will they let him? Diversion takes away Suffering for 2 more left. Retro falls. Prime B trying to get away, and that's the flowing blood. Malcolm not wanting to let him. Trying to get into safety. Suffering. You can pull him down, and that's Tiamo offended, but they have to let him go. That's 2 for 3 in favor of Crimson Era. The Lord is approaching from the mid lane, and it looks like this is it. Crimson Era, they fought hard. Only Esport held on. The Crimson Era, but it's raised. Suffering is down, and that's the Alice. Prime B. The Lord is approaching, but what can Prime B do in this situation? I'm offended, pulls him in, and the minion waves are still there, though. Legacy taking it out, and that's from Malcolm losing his HP there. Great Shirichi comes in, they're trying to defend. Looks like they might, but Malcolm falls. And Legacy, the only one left. The minion waves are approaching, they need more numbers. Prime B is still alive, and he's still defending with everything he has, and that will be a successful defense for Oni Esports.
Yesterday, it was Tatsia on the Uranus. Today, it's Prime B on the Ruby. What is wrong with these people? Do they have a beef with death or something?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. What is wrong with them? He did. But then you have to ask these questions. Their Crimson Era, what is up with them as well? They're not letting off, and they're not willing to let go. They're holding on with everything they have. Yorichi frontlining. He's got 8 deaths, but the man is not relenting with those engages. And Pog, despite missing those raging slash, still diving in headfirst into the back line. And then we also have Retro here, trying as much as possible to counter the Alice and the Angela. What more can he do, Fisayo? What more can he do? All right, okay. Seems like Fisayo is, a bit away right now. But then Fog up top. It seems like this guy is really just trying to clear the lanes down. Crimson Era. You just have to wait it out. They just have to wait it out. That's the thing, because right now, wave management is more important.
I forgot I was on mute.
Oh, okay. that's okay. Okay. Yeah, so the Lord's one stone, and they're trying to clear the lanes here. So, yeah, what do you think, man?
I was talking about the Baxia. Although the guy keeps dying in every team fight, but the Baxia mark will do its thing. And I think Red is one of the better players in this match.
Yeah, Wrath of Dryad will miss the Karuto, and Yorichi is gone. Speedy light wheels. takes him down. And that's Lightfield Mark doing his thing. And Malcolm, and the Asgard is upon him with the healing there. But the backside Mark is making it difficult there. Ikaru comes in to melt, but Retro is down. And Crimson Era, the Lord has even started there. Ikaru falls to Legacy. Nibiru will win over the Lightfield Mark. And that's more where that came from. Crimson Era are pushing up top. Meanwhile, Fox, that's the Lord here. And Malcolm as well. But Oni Esports are forced to defend and manage the waves. Okay, the Lord is being taken there. Legacy, they will start out the Lord here. That's Crimson Era. They need to make sure that they salvage what's left of the waves. And I don't understand what Tony's positioning is, because, you know, the man's always far from the entire team. But then as an Angela, that's the thing. You have to make sure your Asgard is ready. You have to make sure you get in there. But really, man, Fisayo, if you're here with me, what do you think about that engagement, man? Oni Esports tried to start the Lord, but eventually Crimson Era took it. Okay, seems like Fisayo is having some serious network outage. But yeah, then the Lord approaches from the mid lane, and Prime B, starting it out, he already has the immortality. Seems like almost every member of Outlaws has immortality here, because Retro has it, Prime B has it, and Icarus once had it, but they've broken it already. The Lord approaches there for the mid lane. The siege will soon start. They're trying to melt it down. They have to, like your Mark with the speedy light rose comes up from Ikaru. This Lord must not get into that base. And that's the hard guard on Malcolm. They will dive in first. That's a flicker there. That's a fire. And Bob will fall first. Toppling takes him down. They're trying to take the base there. Crimson Era know what they should go for. Only Esports. What can they do? The base is almost down for Crimson Era. They take the second game and tell Oni Esports that you can hang on to the game, but we can hold the victory and take it home. And that was a well-fought battle, because Oni Esports did try to take the game. Look at the ratings, 9 points and 10 points, but Crimson Era just knew how to win the war. Oni might have won the fight, but Crimson won the war. That was a very beautiful game, guys. That was a beautiful game, man.
Yeah, definitely. They lost the fight, but won the war. And I can imagine the frustration of Oni players right now. They really tried, and they battled it to the end. But then Crimson are the better team.
Yeah, they are the better team. They did have a better team, and both teams did well. I have to commend Prime B with those engagements and those visions. I have to commend Ikaru as well with that melt, man. The carry was scary. Look how they were deleting Yorichi, man. That was crazy.
It's better like we're just getting deleted, you know. What do you mean a counter for attack speed marksman give said carry? You know, Belleric is supposed to counter attack speed marksman, but no, not this attack speed marksman.
Yeah, not this, not exact. When you have that blessing of the moon goddess on your side, you know, that's one thing that will help you there. But then brilliant plays from both teams, and that's a 2-0 victory on Crimson Era's belt. Oni Esports did well, but unfortunately, the game just wasn't in their favor tonight. And that will conclude tonight's match. Thank you all for tuning into tonight's stream. I do appreciate everyone, and shout out to ML Hub organizing team for hosting the tournament. And I remain your humble caster, Black Matter, with Face Say as the analysis caster. Say something before we close the stream.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in today, and I hope you had a lot of fun watching the matches, and I hope you have learned something. The main aim of watching top players like this is also for you to also gain something, and I hope you have been able to not only enjoy yourself but also gain something as well.
Yeah, that's the important part. But then that's gonna be all for tonight, guys. Take care and good night.